Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, today's repair, it's a not a restoration, but it is a repair for a customer of mine, is this MultiSonic Kriesler Stereo. No idea what's wrong. We'll have a bit of a look over it, get a rough idea of what it's like, what's got to be done, and we'll go from there. But these were a nice unit. This one is not the top of the line Kriesler, but still a very, very nice piece of gear for a radio record player arrangement. So let's have a little bit closer look at this fella and work out what we're going to do. Okay, bit of an inspection first, and yeah, there's been sitting in a shed, so we've got the typical mice, rat, feces, whatever. The grill's quite good. Grill cloth is very good, actually. Come up here, a little bit of a problem with that button. We'll probably fill him with something, a little bit of wood fill or something like that, some sort of filler, and smooth him up. That should be okay. Otherwise, lots and lots of dirt, grease, grime, so forth on this one. We've got a magic eye in there, a little tube that tells us about our tuner's performance, which unfortunately there's a break down the side there, a little bit of plastic gone. Open up this side, and it doesn't stay up. So we've got, what have we got in here? Because I'm holding the camera. An adapter, headphone adapter, which has certainly seen better days. Or an input adapter, because there's our in-out. And obviously, with maybe I'm not real sure about that one. I think that's just a headphone adapter for playback. Yeah, we shouldn't be able to double up on those. Manual. Yeah, got a manual there, and I'll just close the lid, and look at that. All about the record changer. Quite nifty. Even how to set our stylus up for the correct weight and so forth. Very interesting. Our booklet just demonstrates what we used to get back in the old days when we bought something. Yes. Okay. So, haven't got the guarantee, but unfortunately we don't have any purchase date or anything on this, but it is in around 1963, this unit, 63, 64. We'll certainly find out, but it's in that era. Okay. Here we go here. Don't know why that fella's not staying up, but we'll certainly do a bit on that. I might put the camera on the tripod for this fella. Okay. we have the trusty microphone. The original Kriesler microphone that came with these MultiSonics sits in there on the bracket, and not very often you see these still left with these grams. Most of the time they were demolished or, yeah, sold off, gone, whatever. Bobby Dazzler. Here we go. There's a record for us and the record player. The plastic mat, obviously off the turntable. We get this record out. Yes, we can. Record needs a bit of a clean up, but actually looks in very good order. And we have a felt mat, which is actually glued to the platter. That's probably not a really good idea when people have got to work on it. But anyway, we'll see if we'll lift up, which he is. There we go. And there's our platter. This is not a high-end turntable. As I said, this is a cheaper line of the Kriesler Stereo series. The turntable has been locked down by the two locking screws, so it certainly doesn't want to move at the moment. Egg here, not real sure about its purpose other than maybe to hold the microphone when this goes down straight underneath it, actually. Rather odd. Anyway, that's what we've got there. We'll have a look around the back, get him up on a stand here so I can work on him, and yeah, do a bit of cleaning up in here, a bit of vacuuming, and get him a little bit better to work on. The turntable doesn't, it's stiff, but at least it's not seized at all. And that seems to run quite nicely. So, yeah, it's a diamond turntable, which I don't know who makes it. It's probably BSR or Garrard or someone. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll do a little bit more investigation around the back of this unit and see what all this has to come out, of course, for the radio, and get the radio amplifier power supply all going as it should, and then we can put everything back together, do the turntable, and check everything out. Well, there he is, guys. I've turned him around. Now, this unit is actually an 11-102. It's on the back we have the circuit, the description. You don't see these days, do you? That's our metering circuit for the 103, but actually the 102 has the magic eye, which is, where are we? Which is this fella here. The magic eye valve attached into the tuner and running off the AGC. That's string layout and valve layout on the back. Down here we have, I guess, extension speakers. I haven't actually seen this on another one of these. Well, I do have a few 103s like this, but the 102 seems to have that. Now in there, yeah, we've got a bit of a head of us in there by the look of that. So let's take the back off and have a bit of a look inside. These were a top of the line gram. They were mostly bought by anyone who had a bit of money in the 60s. So yeah, wasn't they weren't a cheap gram, but this one is, the 102 is a little bit cheaper design and complement than the 103, which was more of an upmarket Garrard turntable, AT5 Garrard, so forth. So yeah, anyway, we'll have a look inside this one and see where we're going to go, how we get the chassis out, and all that good stuff. Okay, right, yes, well, let's take a closer look. Wow, okay, bit of a trick with this one. How's that for a bit of virgin fixing for us? Certainly is. We've got a power supply down there, our rectifier tube, power transformer up in there. God knows what we're going to find in behind this. This is probably up there with the worst I've seen. The turntable is up under there. Can't see much of there. Speaker, and can't actually see much of the chassis, but it is up in there. We've got to get that out. And first of all, we've got to remove this. Okay, our work now starts, and it looks like I'm going to have a little bit of work cut out for me, aren't I? Okay, let's remove some, well, try and remove this rubbish out of this thing. I'm pretty sure some gloves are needed here. Okay, I've decided to take the lids off. Makes this area a lot easier to work on. I haven't got the lids in the road, and to get, I mean, we don't have to do this, but a couple of minutes here makes a lot of difference for access. So going to, and as far as cleaning as well, a lot easier. So this is just a little stay that holds the lid up, as you can see. Because when you're doing this, hold the lid so it doesn't swing backwards or anything silly like that and want to destroy itself. Now, push that right down, and we'll go around the back and undo the hinges. As I said, this is not necessary when you're working on one of these, certainly not, but this one may have a few issues and needs a lot of cleaning, so we'll do that. Might have to loosen this fella off a bit to push him in. There we go. Okay, turn him around, take the hinges off. Now that I've got a little bit of access here, I think we'll lift the turntable out. A little bit of an old style clip there, one of the old Clipsal brass fellas. Now on this one, I think all we've got is our audio line, which actually goes up into the chassis there somewhere. We'll find him in a minute. And our AC line, which comes from a terminal block here, which goes down to the terminal block, AC terminal block on the power supply. I'll take a picture of there so we can see what's switched and what's direct. There's 3 wires there. There's a black, red, and a grey up the other end. I think the actual turntable has power. I'm pretty sure on these. It doesn't actually show you the time. Oh, yes, it does. The turntable does have power all the time, and the chassis only has power through the on-off switch up the top. So that's the difference with those. Anyway, we always take pictures of absolutely everything we do. Okay, we'll get the turntable out. Now to get the top off, to get our chassis out, this escutcheon here, the actual top of the gram has to come out. First of all, we remove the knobs, and these are just pull off knobs, but that's okay. That one's okay. Ooh. They're fairly tight. That one. And this one, he doesn't want to come. Might have to get a little bit of persuasion underneath with the idea of a small screwdriver, which a little bit of foam underneath there and persuade him off. There we go. Right. It's got the knobs off. The next thing is we have Phillips screws along here. These three here, actually, I'm pretty sure hold the dial glass or plastic as it is, and these little lights here in place, so we don't take them out. There is a screw there and a screw there. These are Phillips, so there's four, and I'm pretty sure from memory this just lifts off. We'll try that now. And as I said, these are Phillips screws, which are a little bit unusual in the 60s. But still, this is around about 64 to 67, I think, this gram. I haven't seen the actual date code anywhere at the moment, but normally that's about what they are. Okay, unscrew this fella. Unscrew this fella. And now, I think this plate should lift off. And it doesn't. It should. It comes back. Okay, back and then up. There we go. And that's him. There we go. So as you can see, the dial glass or plastic stays as is with those three screws that hold this unit in place. We'll be taking this out probably to, it's an interesting little bug, to clean all this and clean this down. It'll come up quite nicely. There's no scratches, there's nothing on it. So anyway, that's it. There's the chassis. So now it's a matter of a screw there, a screw there, and a screw there, and that chassis will come out. But before we can get it out, disconnect from the power supply and the speakers. So let's do that next and see where the plugs and the terminal strip and everything is for that. So here we have the power supply. We have, actually I think these leads are the high voltage supply for the unit itself, plus the electrostatics tweeters that are in these, which I think from memory run on a couple of 100 volts. But anyway, this is main B plus. So we get him out. This is our actual main supply, which I see has already got a dodgy lead there. That would have been interesting. Once we get all this out, we can inspect the power supply, see if all this is going to go okay after the rats have been in here. There's quite a bit of chewing on the transformer at the back here, so I really don't know. In fact, I might be able to see a wire there, so there could be a problem in this. But anyway, we'll see if this is going to resurrect again. Now we have some speaker wires here, which we'll unplug from the unit. So what we've got coming out of the unit now should be all 3 cables. They're all 3 there. And this fellow, no, I don't think there's any more cables there. So that must be all the speaker cables. Plug in up there. This fella goes down here. And it looks like we can lift various things out. This is a pilot light from over in the middle. You probably can't see him there, but I'll just disconnect him. And he's just a little red light that tells you when the gram is on. There he is. Doesn't look in real crash hot condition. We will check him for sure. And this cable just goes up to the gram, but we'll undo it from the power supply end. And I'm saying we because I'm visualising you guys going along with me with this. So it's all of us doing the repair here. And I hope we can all learn a little bit from it. I've cut the power cord off, of course, as you saw. It was a mess, and I didn't want to touch it, so it's gone. Not there, not there. There's a nut at the back, and this one's missing. So that's what holds the supply in. I'll get a small shifter, probably some WD-40 on these to start with, seeing they're a bit disgusting. And I think the place to start with this whole thing will be to check this transformer and just see the damage on here. Okay, I'll get my shifter and get these out. Now it looks like these have got a little screw. I'll just bring him this way a little bit. These have got a screw underneath that goes right through. Right, we've got the screws out. They were slotted, and just with a flat washer and a little star washer. But it's strange how you have 3, but the 4th one is missing. Was it someone that's been in here? They just don't fall out by themselves. Just seems strange. But anyway, this is it. First thing I'm going to do, take our valve out. Now the valve, what is he? He is a 6CA4. It's not actually written on it, but it is up here on the, you can't see that, it is on the circuit. And if we have a look at the circuit there, we can see right in there the 6CA4, and that's the power supply. That's what we're pulling apart at the moment. So that's our socket on the front and our hard wiring terminal on the side, the transformer that we're looking at. So this is the crucial bit of whether that transformer, oops, sorry about that, whether that transformer is going to play ball. Right, all is disconnected. Lift him out, and he actually looks, other than a little bit of rubbish in there, actually looks very neat inside. Our main electro there, the main filter cap. a bias network there with a 22 ohm resistor to through the center tap of the transformer. Looks good. Oh dear. Oh dear. We're not looking so good here. Yeah. This is a little bit of a worry. This is probably the high tension. So maybe we're going to have to do a little bit of a rewind on this one. And if we can get him apart. What a shame. I'll try and get a closer shot. Yes. As you would say, a little bit of a rat's nest, isn't it? And it certainly was. Yeah. I dare say we could round up another transformer for this anyway. It's not it's not a rare type of transformer. It's a very normal one, but I would like the challenge of possibly rewinding this to a point. It only seems to be on the outside windings, which would be the secondary, hopefully. So we'll have a look. There's could be a fair bit of work in getting it apart. But anyway, we'll have a look at this. This is probably almost the next project before we go any further with this gram, to see if we can get this little power supply working, or another transformer for it that that would do the job. Now 1810, I think, something like that written on it. Just get him in the camera there. Yeah, not sure what's written there. I think it's 1810, something like that. So yeah, so obviously the rats have been after the wax on the coating of the transformer. And as you know, they eat everything. All right, well, we'll clean him up and see how we can go. In the meantime, just to continue the video, I will be taking the chassis out and show you how that's done. Okay. I better put my microphone on, didn't I? Otherwise you'll never hear me. There we go. That's probably a bit better audio. Okay, we did undo these Phillips screws. There's two here on this side of the gram. And excuse me, in front of the camera, there's one over here on the other side. Okay. Now, from memory, no, these just don't lift out. There is a screw, or do they? Yes, I think it does. I'll just get my microphone around here. It does. Just lift out. Just like that. There we go. Okay. Just looking at this, I don't think there's been anyone in here with anything. A couple of crazy lamps. That'll be interesting. The little mounts have broken away here, and they've fallen down in amongst the chassis here. And of course, there's 6.3 volts on these. So this would be interesting with it falling down in amongst the tuner there. Hopefully, nothing's happened there. Okay, a little bit of an inspection. Just sitting there for the moment. I'll come down here and put my microphone back on and actually pulled off. Okay, what we've got here, we'll just take, you guys can probably see this. I'll give you a closer look. Let's get the tripod over here and give you a closer look. As we can see, a little bit of chewing around this output transformer. This is the audio out, a 10K to 15 ohm center tap transformer. And around here, I'll try and get you guys around here because this is interesting. There we go. Look down in there. The 10th of May, 1966. So there you go. There's the vintage of the radio. Up in here, a little bit of chewing on a bit of spaghetti there. Not much overall. And as you can see, these lights have just deteriorated and just fallen off. Interesting. Righto. Right. We'll go back a little bit. Give us an overall picture there. I'll have a little bit more of an inspection. These are 6 GW8s. I always found them to be great valves. They're robust and yeah, they work really well. GW8, and I think this little fella's a 12AU7. We've got a 6N8 and a 6AN7 as the tuner valves, 2 IFs, and amp stage. So that's it for there. All looks so reasonably straightforward. There's a bias adjustment here, and it's just in line with the power supply. There's a couple of electrodes in there. They actually don't look too bad. I would say they're probably not too bad, but on a repair for a customer, I always replace the electrolytics. I don't want it back in 12 months' time with the customer saying, now it's got a hum. You don't need that. So we'll check resistors, so forth, voltages. Nice layout of the tuner, very nice. And if we tip him over this way, careful not to rest it on a valve, our dial, very, very tight. So don't want to push that too much. It's still intact. Don't know where the tightness is coming from, whether it's the gang, whether it's the little rollers that are seized. That fella actually doesn't move, but there's a lot of rubbish on him. And this fella, well, yeah, the shaft could be seized as well. Up the other end, we do have our magic eye valve. Now, I'm not sure what he is. I Geez, not even on the circuit. I'm not sure what number that fellow is. But anyway, if I tip him over, he's an EM84, which is common. So he's sitting in there and shines through the front. Well, used to. Fair bit of rubbish in there at the moment. Okay, first thing, we'll just put this aside for the moment and try and work out the voltage bit that goes to it. See if we can get that transformer happening. Okay, guys, well, we might call this for part 1, and part 2 may be the transformer, getting it, whatever's got to be done, and checking voltages, so forth here, caps, and putting it all back together. This might be a 3-part series, actually. So, yeah, I don't want to bore you with too long a video on this particular one. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying this so far. I hope you're absolutely stunned by what we found, which is not real good. So, all right, until part 2, we'll call it quits. And please remember to subscribe if you want to follow me. That really helps my YouTube clips keep going. And a big thumbs up for a like if you like what I do, if you're following along. And I will see you on the next video. So, bye for now.